Hey, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I just wanted to let everybody know that I've now finished. I'm doing a complete analysis and postings and with video and sample source code for Matlab M scripts with a video source code walkthrough, and I've posted probably approaching maybe 25 in the last few, actually this week. I've done the first one, which is the econometrics toolbox. I've just finished off the financial toolbox for Matlab, and there's some really cool forecasting techniques. Also, I've posted a few GUI tools found in the financial toolbox, which I never even knew about. Includes for charting, capturing data. And there's some technical analysis, forecasting different ways, so many different ways, and different examples of it. So I'm quite happy with the progress thus far, because I'm figuring I'm doing about one toolbox a day of postings. So now where I'm taking it is I'm now getting more into the more mathy type of stuff, more of the advanced math, just so that for people who don't understand MATLAB and how MATLAB works, is basically you have MATLAB the core, MATLAB the base. When you buy that MATLAB base alone with no toolboxes, there's a bunch of math functionality that is included as part of that base package, and there's a user's guide on that. So I'm going to do a whole set of postings around that. I'm also now moving into other areas involving the statistical toolbox, PDE, partial differential PDE, partial differential equations, as well as I'm moving into some of the more advanced stuff like curve fitting. What else was there? I just had it on the top of my mind. Curve fitting, optimization. It's a lot of stuff, so I'm hoping to attack that all next week, and then put all these videos and source code samples up to my membership. But the highlight of it is obviously the math. All this time I've been looking at a lot of the platforms and analysis, reading research papers and reading the books from John Hall or Paul Wilmot. The math is what the key is at all of it, and you see these bizarre looking algorithms and equations that you'd think that you'd have to be an astronaut to really figure out. It's not that hard, but it is PhD level stuff. Because the MATLAB documents and webinars and all that stuff is so good, you can quickly pick it up, because not only do they talk about the functionality of MATLAB itself, but they also give a very, very good description on the ability on what those functions do, and it just goes on about all the different math capabilities, be it if it's linear algebra, calculus, stats, all that stuff. So hey, I'm not a math teacher, and I don't claim to be, but there are some very, very good YouTube channels out there. Obviously one of them's getting notoriety on TED Talk, or Bill Gates talking about Khan Academy. There's also Bionic Turtle as well, which is quite good. So what I do is I'll dig up all the functions, but not only that, but I'll try to give really good references elsewhere to understand those concepts, as well as I'll take some blurbs out of the actual user guides as well. So I'm trying to make it nice and easy for people to really pick up, even if math is not your strong feature, or you haven't looked at math, like in my case, in 20 plus years. So it's a very, trying to really, I don't like to use the word dumb it down, but I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for people to pick up. I've done the same thing with R, so now we're just basically taking it into the world of MATLAB, and then once I go through this whole process, we'll start moving into the more advanced stuff. Because we now have all the forecasting, we also have the ability, with the strength of hopefully the math, then we can move into the Simulink, which is really the crust of it. But with all the latest updates of Matlab in the last couple of months, including last week, do you really need simulating? Who knows? Maybe you do. But there's just so many options to go with to build and execute trades, and just there's so much, and all the nerve center is really all based around Matlab. So that's where we're going. It is Friday. That's what I've been doing the last week. Over the next week or 2 weeks, a lot of these toolboxes will be analyzed. Videos with the source code will be posted for my members. Webinars are happening around it. This is the crust of all the strategy building, and from all that learning, all these postings will then obviously determine new strategies and new classic ways to trade. But the cool thing is, if you're a retail trader or new at all this, I've studied this for the last few years, and this is easily the #1 way to learn how to do advanced trading, how to do systematic trading, but do it in an easier way as opposed to trying to follow the sheep on something like a TradeStation, multi-charts, or MetaTrader, or NinjaTrader. Using this methodology, you'll have that edge. You'll be one of the very fewer people that are actually doing it. My membership's quite small, and I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm a one-person show, so I can handle the volume of queries and all that. I don't really want to be that big. So the fewer people that know about this stuff, the better. It is kind of exclusive. We've got people poking around at all these videos, and as I said, we got the live webinars happening to address the questions as they come up, as I post stuff. But now's a good time to get in on it. And once I go through the more advanced programming stuff using all these things, it's going to really expedite those strategies, and we can start implementing them into a live trading environment, be it if I choose to go with something like an X-Trader or even a more expensive product like a Deltix. And if not, hey, I've got the open source projects like the TradeLink at my disposal. So there's lots of options, but again, the crust of it is obviously the strategies. That's what pays the bills, and everything else kind of moves around. And there's one other thing I haven't talked about, is the really important things like performance metrics. I've also included some postings on that, like Sharpe ratio and a few others. But there's also some postings that I've skipped over for things like portfolio optimization, asset management, risk management. All that I have not covered yet, but I will address it later on. But they are there, out of box, ready to go, out of toolboxes like the financial from Matlab. So it's there. I haven't talked about it because I'm right now just focusing on the forecasting and estimating and simulation and analyzing. So don't think I'm going to be skipping it, because I'm not. It's just right now it's put on the back burner so I can get through all the other stuff, like the analyzing, simulation, all that stuff. So that's where we are. That's where we're going. And like I said, hopefully I'll see you on the membership side, because it's getting kind of cool. Later.